give me magazines that they don't need all the time, and that's my preferred source of material. But for this project, there's been so many bugs to illustrate. I've started taking photographs when I'm out and about of textures that look like insects, and then I get them printed out. So the red for this ladybird is from a boiled sweet from a shop in Scotland, which makes the most beautiful boiled sweets. So I bought lots when we were up there and then took photographs of them, and I've been using those for different beetles. I've worked as a collage artist for years now. I fell into it by accident after I left university because it's a really cheap way of producing pictures. I've worked as an illustrator for over 20 years, for magazines and book jackets, and it was really good fun. But I wanted my work to be really useful, and I was so worried about climate change and insect numbers depleting. I realised I could use my skills as an artist to try and help.
Marion started a project called Buzz and Scuttle, where she catalogues and collages the insects that she finds in her hometown of Bath.
I thought it would take a couple of weeks for me to illustrate everything in our garden. Maybe I thought there'd be 25 different insects. And then as I started crawling around and lifting up rocks and searching under leaves, the list has just grown and grown and grown. I've collaged over 200 species. This is a green tortoise beetle. They do nibble holes in the mint, I'm not going to lie, but they don't kill the mint plant, so I'm just planting extra mint to feed them.
Marion teamed up with local organisations to create identification guides from her collages that have been placed around Bath and the UK.
I thought if I make them into public information posters and I put them out into the community, then people will understand what's here and then they can start trying to help protect them. So I think if people don't realise what's living around them, then how can they help? When I started, I really knew virtually nothing. Because these illustrations are being used to identify species, I can't use artistic licence in a way that I would have done for work before.
To ensure the accuracy of these minuscule models, Marion works with local ecologist Mike Williams.
So this is a lesser stag beetle. It's been hibernating in dead wood over the winter, and they start to come out in late spring.
He's a fantastic entomologist and he has the most encyclopedic knowledge of local species. If I'm going to collage this, Mike, are there any features that I need to make sure that I capture?
Yeah, you've got the elbowed antennae and the club on the end of it.
Oh, yeah. And there's like a golden band around its head.
Yep. There's a small bit of gold on the front of the face, actually.
OK. I've never enjoyed a project like this before, where I've been connected to so many inspiring people and worked with so many people in the community.
In addition to creating the identification signs, Marion runs collage workshops to help raise awareness of insects in future generations.
I think children are so good at noticing things, and they're also really honest, and they're also really enthusiastic. So I love working with groups of children, and their collages are just as good as mine. He's got personality, your rug.
Thanks.
I'm really amazed at how many groups want to get on board with the project and the positive feedback that I'm getting from the posters. I just hope the project grows and grows. I'd love to see every school making insect collages and looking at what's in their playgrounds. I'd love whole neighbourhoods of people thinking about gardening for insects. If we can explain how amazing insects are and how important they are, then I'm pretty sure most people would want to help save them. We can't survive without insects. They're really small and they're easy to overlook, but they do all kinds of really important jobs for us. We know they pollinate our crops and our flowers, and without them, the whole of the food chain starts falling apart. So even though they're easy to ignore, we can't live without them. I think that's what the whole point of the project is, to try and make people re-look at the creatures that surround them and not just view them as a pest and a problem, but really understand how amazing they are.